What is going on, community? It is TJ, aka Flash by Night, and we are here catching up with the comics. That's right. I haven't done this in a while, so just as a refresher, catching up with the comics is basically a show, a segment where I catch up with stories that either may have passed me by that I want to go back and visit from some of my favorite characters, or stories I read in the past, maybe gave a reread and understand better, or stories that I just feel like need to be put out there for a broader audience. So we are here to catch up with the Moon Knight run from 2006, starting with the bottom, issues 1 through 6 by Reginald Houston, I think it is, and with art by David Finch. And to catch up on issues 1 through 3, because today we're doing 4, to catch up on issues 1 through 3 really quickly, we basically have a beaten and broken Moon Knight who's gone through a fight, the fight of all fights, with his nemesis Razul Bushman, where he basically cuts Bushman's face off and possibly, I think he does kill Bushman in this fight, but he also ends up hurt really badly, basically left in his apartment by himself with alcohol and pain pills and depression and guilt and self-loathing and all that good stuff. That's where he is, cooped up in his apartment, until one day his friend Crawley, who brings him information and his pain pills, basically tells him that his best friend Frenchie has a restaurant and wants to see him at this restaurant after some untold years. So he goes and meets Frenchie. They exchange some back and forth, friendly and then not so friendly. Frenchie lets him in on a secret that he thinks Frenchie should have told him a long time ago. Frenchie thinks that he should have figured it out. But long story short, after this meeting at the restaurant, some random thug, it looks like, attacks Frenchie, and the Mark Spector that's been beaten, that hadn't fought anybody since, that can barely walk, basically takes out a sword from one of his crutches and almost kills the guy. Basically, he finds this rage he hadn't had in forever, and then he goes, I guess, back to his apartment. So that's where we pick up after this fight, after this meeting with Frenchie. And also, as a side note, we have this character, the Profiler, who we're going to talk about in this issue. But the book is using the Profiler to kind of catch the readers up, new readers and old readers alike, on Mark Spector, Moon Knight, and his history, how he met Marlene, how he died and Khonshu brought him back to life. All this good stuff. The Profiler is being used to catch us back up. So in issue number 4, we basically catch up with Mark Spector in his apartment with his statue of Khonshu, and he's kind of begging Khonshu to bring him back to where he used to be, to take whatever this is that's got a hold of him right now and bring him back to being Mark Spector, Moon Knight. And it's really, really funny because if you notice, Khonshu is wearing Bushman's face, and the Bushman you see on the page is not actually there. That's actually either Mark imagining Bushman, or Khonshu making Bushman appear there to talk to Mark, because there's a lot of that going on in this book. On the other page, we have the profiler with his female companion. And again, the book uses the profiler to tell us about Moon Knight and to give us a little more information. The profiler is basically through conversation with her, telling us that Moon Knight is kind of strange. The profiler has the ability to look at people and look at their movements, look at the signals they give away, both consciously and unconsciously, and kind of predict what people like. At one time, she kind of throws an insult at him. I forget the particular insult. And he's like, "But you like it, don't you?" And she's like, "Yes, you know I do," because the profiler can read anybody except Moon Knight, because Moon Knight has this maybe not supernatural thing going on with Khonshu. The profiler basically says that whether or not Khonshu is real, whether or not a god actually drives Moon Knight believes in it so strongly that it interferes with his abilities profile. But he also kind of gives us a rundown of why Moon Knight is kind of I don't know if I want to say self-hating or self-defeated, but like he's already from birth not in a good space. His dad despised him basically as a youngster. His dad was a rabbi, so he railed against his dad, railed against the God his dad believed in, and so they kind of went their separate ways. And we find out from the profiler that the only thing that Mark Spector likes and is good at is hurting people, as a boxer, as a Marine, as a mercenary. And I'm also interested in how often we visit this boxing part. I think there's a little bit to be mined out of there in the future. If nobody has, people may have, and I may not know about it. But that's what we kind of do here in this book, is catch up with the profiler giving us more information on Moon Knight. We also catch up with Mark Spector kind of having a conversation with Khonshu, if you want to call it a conversation, where Khonshu is trying to get Moon Knight back on his feet. Moon Knight is trying to get back on his feet, but he has this self-doubt because of everything he's been through. And in walks Marlene, who is his on again, off again, complicated girlfriend, who comes in to basically read Mark the riot act about what happened to Frenchie outside of this bar. And Mark doesn't want to take responsibility. And she's like, "Frenchie hadn't seen you in years. And the first time you see Frenchie, he ends up in the hospital. That can't be a coincidence." And so she's reading Mark the riot act. And before they get finished, guess who kicks in the door waving the 4-4? Well, actually, I guess kicks in the door waving a sword and a shield. But that doesn't have the same ring to it. That's right. Taskmaster is here to basically do the bidding of this committee who is responsible for the guy attacking Frenchie and wants Moon Knight to basically come back into action but work for them. And their moves, the person who sent the attacker went too fast or whatever, and so the committee wants to abort the mission and just dispose of Moon Knight, and they are going to try and use Taskmaster to do it. But that is in issue 5. This is issue 4 of Moon Knight from Huston and Finch, part 4 of The Bottom, one of the grittier Moon Knight stories, if not grittiest Moon Knight stories out there. I am Flash by Night. I am a Moon Knight fan, and so of course this is where we would start. Yeah, so we're gonna try and keep this train rolling. I paused catching up with the comics for a while, not purposely. it just happened. But we're gonna catch back up, keep this momentum rolling, go into issues 5 and 6 and try to wrap the bottom up. I'm also gonna try something new because you guys know I'm new at this. I'm gonna try and make a playlist and put a playlist at the end of this video so you can find the videos for issues 1 through 3. But I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. If you did enjoy yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me, catching up with my comics, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Of course, leave comments. Let me know what you thought about this format that I am using. And as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.